なんだなんだ
And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. If you watched my Slice of Life vlog that I just put up yesterday, you will know that I am drinking my not so favorite coffee. Quite honestly, it is what it is. I was watching Bella from Throne of Pages last week. I was watching her swapping screen time for reading time vlog, and I was inspired. I was so inspired to do this. And there are so many other people who have done this challenge before, and a lot of people who I love. I will link some of my favorite videos of this challenge down below, because it is something that I've really wanted to do for quite some time, and I've just never really felt like I wanted to punish myself that much. But after the chaos of last week, I'm like, how much worse can it get? So I'm trying to get one step ahead of the universe by making my own life hell before something happens, you know? And I do have a lot to read because I have been terrible with my phone, especially last week. Last week was pretty awful because I was non-stop just like in anxiety mode. So what I'm planning on doing in this video is that I'm going to be going to the week befores. And you might be like, Gav, that's cheating. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not cheating. If you do not know what the challenge is, essentially you go onto your phone, which kind of defeats the purpose of this video as well because we're trying to keep you off your phone. And if you go into settings and then screen time, you'll see how much time you've spent on your phone on any given day. And this challenge is essentially replacing that phone time with reading time. And I love the way Bella did it. The way she did it was that she kind of matched the week before each day. So like for instance, on the Monday, she read what was on the Monday screen time the week before. And then on Tuesday, she read about however long the screen time was the previous Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. So for each day that I spent on my phone, that amount of time is what I'm reading on that day. Last week's average was 5 hours and 22 minutes. For a total screen time of 37 hours and 40 minutes. So we'll round up to like 38 hours. 38 hours I was on my phone. And today's Monday, so we're going to start this challenge today. And can you guess what my Monday screen time is? I mentioned this in my reading sprints with Bella last Tuesday. Try and guess. And also everyone in the chat as well, try and guess what my screen time was for Monday the 13th of May. Try and guess.
Okay, but you gotta, okay, like, is it double digits?
You want hints?
Yeah.
You want... Well, what do you mean by double digits? Like, what do you mean? But it's this.
You're lying. You're
I'm not lying.
absolutely lying.
35 minutes. Yeah, I know. And is that a glitch? Quite possibly. And you know what? Most definitely, it is a glitch. It has to be a glitch. There was no way I was only on my phone for 35 minutes on Monday. But the rules of this challenge clearly state, subsection 8, paragraph 32, whatever the app says you have to read, you do. And my app says 35 minutes. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm reading for 35 minutes. I'm so happy. But I can't get comfortable because the rest of the week is horror. Tuesday, 5 hours 9 minutes. Wednesday, 6 hours 41 minutes. Thursday, 4 hours 57 minutes. Friday, 7 hours 21 minutes. Saturday, 6 hours 54 minutes. And then Sunday, 6 hours 1 minute. So like we start off great, we start off amazing. And it does kind of confirm that the Monday time is a glitch. So how am I going to tackle this challenge, you ask? Well, I am still going to try and read for that amount of time in that day. If I do fall short for reading that amount of time in that day, that time will roll over into the next day. Let's just make it harder for myself. And watch me just not read for pretty much the entire week and have to read for like 38 hours on Sunday. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. And I think I'm going to do a lot of audiobooking this week too, because I'm hoping upon hope that I'll hear back tomorrow about a potential house and potentially moving. So hopefully I'll get some good news, which means I will be able to start packing. And when I'm packing, I can listen to so many audiobooks. I think it'll be so good to do this week because I think audiobooks will save my life. And if I don't get it tomorrow, then I'm going to have to go to a lot of viewings and it's going to make this challenge even harder. I have a TBR kind of vaguely planned. So today is Monday. This is the start of the challenge. Welcome in. And I'm going to start off with Animal Farm by George Orwell. I just uploaded my Slice of Life vlog and I was supposed to read it in that vlog and I didn't. And I got a lot of comments saying, oh, I should still read it. So I'm going to give this one a go still. I'm going to start it today. Probably won't finish in 35 minutes. But if I do end up reading for longer today, then I'll just take some time off of tomorrow, potentially. I don't know if I will though, because I also need to film a video. I don't know what video yet, so I can upload it midweek. And Tony, I have to read for 35 minutes today is genuinely perfect for me. Maybe the Lord is shineth in upon me. that's Monday's challenge out of the way already. Although I do think I'm going to continue reading later on, because I don't think I'm actually going to film anything else today. I had the best intentions, but I don't know what to film. See, I need the inspiration to strike, and I needed to strike hot. And it just hasn't stricken today. I mean, obviously this vlog, but I'm talking about like just a general sit-down video for, I don't know. Let's not dwell on that. I have read the first 4 chapters of Animal Farm, so I'm on page 29. I'm liking it so far. I can't believe I've never read this before. A lot of people say that this is like one of those classics that a lot of people have read. It is essentially about animals that can talk to one another, and the very start there is a pig called Major who gets the other barnyard animals in the farm that they live at to have an uprising against the humans who run the farm. It's like kind of a little bit bonkers, like the fact that these animals can run out like the humans from their home, and they're kind of okay with that for a little bit. I mean, obviously I don't want to do like spoilers and stuff, but like I'm just like really some like rowdy animals and you run for the hills. So that is a little bit bonkers, which I don't mind. Like I'm suspending my disbelief for this entire book, because obviously like the way that the animals go on, it's very quick. The events are happening so quickly too. I genuinely thought this entire book would be about just like a select few animals trying to elicit an uprising against their masters, but no, that pretty much happens in like the very start of chapter 2, and it's only 90 pages long. There are 2 appendices at the end of this book. I will probably just end up reading those 2, which only adds on around about like 20 more pages, but I am liking it. I find it so interesting, the idea of animals running things themselves, and I love it when Major in the very first chapter is like, humans are evil, like they're the reason like the world is shit, they can't do anything for themselves, they use us for everything, and yet they contribute nothing. And it's like, you know what, animals, you have a point. Very fair point there. And I did read Tender as the Flesh a couple of months back, and while it's not exactly the same, it is kind of dealing with a similar theme of humans running the world into the ground. And that's a theme that I never get tired of, because it's true. But I'm very intrigued to see if these animals will pull it off. At the minute, it seems okay. They have their 7 commandments, and I find it funny that some of the animals are literate and some of them can read and write and all this, that, and the other. I think that's like pretty interesting. Like I just wasn't expecting this going into it. I really wasn't. Will the animals be able to uphold this new society that they've formed? And it just sounds like they're getting other forms to have uprisings too. And I'm trying to visualize it. It ain't visualizing in my head all that much. But I am just taking this as sort of allegory for the real world and the treatment of animals and what the humans have done to animals over time. So on that front, I will most likely do some more reading later. I don't know what I fancy doing right now. I could do some more work. I might try and get ahead on like Patreon posts for the week. Maybe make some more thumbnails, although I'm bloody sick of making thumbnails, let me tell you. Do I make the most of not having to do too much reading today by... Literally all I want to do is read though. I'm like, should I play a game? Should I do another hobby? There is literally nothing. There's like nothing else I kind of want to do right now.
Finish Animal Farm. I remember reading Animal Farm for high school, and it was like the first classic I ever read, and I was like, this is so confusing. Honestly, I keep saying that I'm gonna reread that book, and then I never do. I'm just interjecting here because I can only eat 3 slices of my garlic flatbread that I'm a little bit obsessed with. It's the cheapest thing you can get, but we're on a budget. We're on a budget, and I love them. And I used to be able to eat the whole thing. I used to be able to eat all 6 slices, but for the past week, I think I could only really stomach 3. So I knew I should have just cut it into 3 slices, because I couldn't handle 6. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. Anyway, I have continued on with Animal Farm. I'm currently on page 70. It is still Monday. It's Monday afternoon. And so far, the time is 47 minutes. And I am starting the timer for tomorrow. And I'm most likely going to finish Animal Farm now. It's definitely gotten a lot more interesting, a lot more brutal. I can definitely see a lot of political undertones in there. A lot of critique on power and dictatorship. And I'm like, are these pigs taking the fucking piss? I'm genuinely wondering if this has ever been adapted, like how it's been adapted. You know what? I'm going to have a look. If there's a film, I'll watch it after I've finished. I've just managed to finish Animal Farm by George Orwell. I was watching Bella's cursed 100k 1,000 subscribers celebration thing on Patreon, and I somehow managed to get this finished. And I have started the timer again from 0 for tomorrow's timer,
So I've read for 1 hour and 12 minutes. So tomorrow, I think it was 5 hours and 9 minutes. So this will now be like 3 hours and... I can't do math. 3 hours and 57 minutes or something. I don't know. It's under 4 hours tomorrow, okay? Under 4 hours. I'm so glad because I'm most likely going to be crying for a long time tomorrow when I find out I don't get this house. But yeah, I've just finished this and it kind of got a little bit horrifying. There were some things that really traumatized me. Like some of those poor animals, and I kind of love the message of how sometimes it's very indistinguishable between the people who think they're about to do the right thing and they're like usurping people in power versus the people who they usurped. So it's kind of like holding up that mirror to ourselves and in society. You can really feel like such a real world inspiration for this. But this turned out to be kind of sad to see corruption and all of these really toxic human traits that corrupts animals. And again, it just boils down to the fact that humans are the problem. And a lot of ideologies that humans have is the problem. I was there feeling like so gutted for these animals, and that's most likely the takeaway that you're supposed to have for this book. There is so much I can see in the working class and how innocent people have been misused and treated over the years, and how awful it is, especially when you have, you know, animals trying to retire but they can't. You have people given promises that obviously aren't going to happen, and a lot of lies, like a lot of lying is involved in trying to keep the peace and trying to keep this society working in a certain way. And honestly, it just rings so true. It rings so true. I don't know when this was written. I imagine a pretty long time ago. Oh, first published in 1945. Okay, so that was the end of World War II. So yeah, I can see that. But it still feels so relevant to today. I've checked YouTube as well, and there are a couple of Animal Farm films that you can actually watch on YouTube. And they're only around about like an hour and 20 minutes. So I might end up trying to like watch one of them. There was like an animated one. There was one that seemed live action. But I might try and give one of those a watch. Or I might do fuck all for the rest of the day. Who knows? Oh, and I forgot to say, I'm most likely going to give this 4 stars. It wasn't amazing to me personally. I think if I had read it while I was at uni or at college or when I was a bit younger, maybe I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I feel like this would have been so good to dissect and really evaluate and analyze. So it gave me personally 4-star vibes. And that's pretty good. Like, this is my first classic in, I think, a year and a half. Me and Tobu, best buds. Yeah, I love you. I love you. You wanna get in? You wanna get in?
My injury is in pain at the moment, and this is the only position that I found that brings no pain. I've been reading for 4 hours and 57 minutes. I'm a little bit closer to the 7-hour-and-a-half mark that I have to reach today.
So today is Tuesday and I have to read for 5 hours and 9 minutes, and I've already read for 1 hour 11 minutes and 58 seconds from last night, which I'm rolling over into today. So that is just enough 4 hours that I actually need to read. I have some reading sprints with my patrons coming up later tonight, so I might try and get some reading done before then, but if I don't get a whole lot done, that's absolutely fine, because I have some news. If you were following my Slice of Life vlog, again, you will know that I had my heart set on a place very near where I live, and I really wanted to get it. It was a beautiful, beautiful house, and it would have been perfect, absolutely perfect. Timing and everything would have been absolutely perfect. So I got a phone call about nearly 2 hours ago now. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I was heartbroken. I had a little cry, but I just needed to get that out of my system. And then as soon as that was done, I was like, okay, I need to find somewhere still. And so I went on the app, I went on the Rightmove stuff, and I just kept searching and searching and searching. I have quite a lot of properties saved, but I'm doing something a little bit out there. So I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling throughout the entirety of Gateshead, Newcastle, and even the surrounding areas, and there wasn't really a whole lot of places that I really kind of wanted. At least a lot of them didn't look like I could live there. And there were quite a few of them, again, still like, no pets allowed. Unfortunately, the landlord doesn't allow pets and stuff like that. So there was so much that just struck so much of it down. And so I had a little bit of a crazy idea. So I decided to branch out even further in the search. And honestly, I wasn't really being too serious when I did this. I was kind of just seeing what was out there. So, you know, my friend, Becca. from Becca and the Books. Well, she lives sort of like the York area, like nearish York. And I was like, York isn't too far from me, really. I mean, it's like a 2.5 hour drive, but still. And I ended up like narrowing down the search to more like Becca's area. And there is actually a really nice place that I was like, oh, actually, that looks quite awesome. I kind of love that. Like, you know what? I'm going to try and go for it. So I rang up and I said, I'm interested in this property. I have a friend who lives nearby. Would they be able to go and have a look at the place and stuff like that? And they couldn't allow someone else to go view it. So I'm going tomorrow. I've booked a train all the way down to an area near York so that I can view this property. Hopefully this gives me an edge. Hopefully the landlord is like, wow, he came all this way to view this. He is top of the list. Like, that's my hope. That's my dream. Because if not, then like I went all the way down there. But to be fair, I have extended my stay a little bit. So I will be staying with Becca for the next couple of days. So Wednesday and Thursday I'll be staying at Becca's, and then Friday I'll be coming back home. So it's totally random, totally unexpected. But that is how this week is going. We kind of derailed a little bit. But if I get this place, honestly, it would be amazing. And it will be heartbreaking to be quite a distance away from my family. Like, they won't be able to, you know, visit just any given day. They would have to like travel for it, and I would have to travel up. But honestly, I'm desperate, for one. And two, I'm kind of excited about the idea of trying to live somewhere else. Somewhere else entirely. I think it's going to be so good. So I will have to keep you updated on that too. So the stress of trying to find a house, trying to find a home by the end of June will continue. God, like, it just never ends. It just never ends. Honestly, I felt the most crushing depression after I got that phone call earlier saying like, unfortunately, the landlord picked someone else. Oh God, I tried to hold it together on that phone call. I did. Didn't help that I was on the toilet as well at the same time. She would have heard a splash on the phone and thought those were my tears. But I'm keeping my spirits high. I had my little moment to allow myself to feel sad, but I just need to get back up. I need to continue going forward. We have some reading to do. So I do have a plan. I have two plans actually. So what I might do is, I can't really talk about this one too much in this vlog though, because it's for my library challenge video. Oh my God, my library challenge video. When I move, it doesn't matter where it is, I'll have to change libraries. Oh my gosh, my library challenge video is gonna be all over the place. Anyway, I did pick up The Ghostwoods by C.J. Cook for my May prompt. So I do need to read this by the end of the month, but I won't be able to talk too much about it in this vlog because I'm going to be talking about it in my library challenge vlog, which should be fine. You know, I can still give basic thoughts, which I do anyway, and let you know. So I really want to try and get as much of this read today as possible, and hopefully that will take some time out of tomorrow's, because, you know, I will be going to see Becca now for a couple of days, and that might derail this kind of vlog. But what I do have planned as well is when I go to visit Becca, I can read The Crimson Moth by Kristen Kisarelli, because this is one of Becca's favourite books of the year so far, and I'm filming another vlog, which I started when I went to visit Jade in Ipswich, because I'm reading my friends' favourite books while visiting them, and I was going to put this on hold because I just can't afford to be doing all of this. I can't afford to be travelling all over the place right now, but because I have that viewing, I was like, is it okay if I just come stay for a few days while I go to this viewing? And Becca was like, yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to end up taking this tomorrow. So it will be great. Okay, plan of action. Task list. Task list. Start and maybe finish The Ghostwoods by C.J. Cook today. I mean, it is only 12. It is only 12. So we're absolutely fine. I feel like it could be done. Oh, this is also a staff pick from the library. So I'll just pop that. I'll use it as a bookmark, actually. Oh, if I could get all of this read today, perfect. I will need a distraction from... It's weird. I do feel really, really sad that the hunt continues. I haven't even eaten today either yet. I need to eat. I haven't had breakfast. I'm so hungry. I just didn't want to because, you know, I was so anxious about the phone call, and then the phone call happened, and then I was busy. Anyway, I'm gonna have something to eat. I'll probably have another toasty. That's all I'm gonna have this week. Toasties. And just continue. I might say if The Ghostwoods is on Libby as well, because I could try and do some general housework while I'm reading. Oh my God, it was not the best time to go to the post office to do some errands. It is pouring of rain outside. Oh my gosh. I am 3 hours, 19 minutes today, so I still have, Oh, I have 2 hours. I still have 2 hours. So I'm going to listen to a little bit more of The Ghost Woods, which I'm on page 123. And I'm really liking it so far. I really like how it's a dual narrative where you follow two different women. Pearl. No, Mabel. Mabel is in 1959 and Mabel is in 1965. And they are both women who end up getting pregnant. And when they do, they get sent to Lycan Hall. And in Lycan Hall, it's a little bit strange. But also Mabel doesn't know how she got pregnant. I am preferring Pearl as a protagonist though, just because she's like a lot more practical and she's a little bit more aware of things. But so far, the writing is solid. The story is solid. Loving the fact that at Lycan Hall, there is these woods outside and there is a rumour of a witch. So I don't know if this is going to actually end up becoming paranormal or if that's just a rumour. If it's just something that is only there to add a little bit of suspense rather than it actually being true. Which obviously I won't tell you if it's true or not, but I am liking the vibes of it. I am. Also, you're on my standing desk right now and I'm just sitting down. So like the table's all the way up here. My computer's like all the way up there. I was rushing home trying to get back from the post office. I had to send off my old passport because my old passport expired last month. So that's just another expense. I still have 3 hours until sprints. I might lie in bed for an hour and continue reading. It's already been such an exhausting day. Every day has been pretty much exhausting. I'm currently doing some reading sprints with my patrons and I have just hit the 5 hours and 9 minutes for Tuesday. So I'm going to take a screenshot of that so that I definitely don't lose that I did it. I'm going to reset the timer. Okay, that's gone. And now I'm going to start from the beginning again for tomorrow's time, which is 6 hours and 41 minutes. I think I have like an hour and a half left of this. So it'll be nice to really like eat into that. I have 2 more sprints to go with my patrons, well, a sprint and a half, so I'll get it done then, and being able to get some of that time done tonight is going to be such a lifesaver for me tomorrow, now that I have a trip further down the country and I have a viewing and I'm going to go see my friend for a couple of days, so I hope that's okay. I am on page 274. I don't want to give too many updates on it now because I will finish this tonight, so I might as well just update you on my final thoughts on this. I am still very much liking this and I had no idea that it was sapphic. This is sapphic. What? Definitely very, very character driven. And I ain't complaining. I ain't complaining. 1 hour 23 minutes. That's what I've stopped the timer at. I have 10 minutes left of the reading sprint that I'm on. And I have managed to finish The Ghost Woods by C.J. Cooke. I do think this should have had probably a different title. I mean, they're all woods in this, but it's not really the focal point of it. And I feel like I was probably expecting something totally different going into it. But I will say though, it was still very good. I think you need patience with it though. I think the first part of it was pretty slow going. Second part picked up. The third part was when like things were really starting to hit the fan. And then the fourth part was, you know, like a pretty good ending. Like some of it was a little bit predictable, but it was fine. It was absolutely fine. I want to talk more about this in the library challenge video that I'll be doing. So I still need to film a review for it for that. Don't know if I've got it in me to film tonight. But I will say though, there is a character called Mrs. Whitlock in this and she definitely stood out. She definitely stood out. There were some gut-wrenching things and like some gut-wrenching realizations that one of the characters made a little bit later on that honestly I feel like I probably should have known earlier on, but I wasn't sure which genre this story was going in, if that makes any sense. But as soon as she makes this like really gut-wrenching realization, I was like, oh god, that's awful. So there are very good, strong, empathetic characters in this book. I would definitely check out more by C.J. Cooke. I don't know what I'm going to give it though. It's either going to be a 3.5 or a 4. I do think this strength in this book is from the characters. There is a bit of atmosphere, but not enough for me to really consider this very creepy or anything. I was never creeped out by this. There were some strange goings on, don't get me wrong, there were strange goings on. There were characters acting in certain strange ways, but I don't know, I think I was expecting something maybe a lot more chilling. Lycan Hall is a great setting though. It is a very good setting. Oh, hello, Topio! Oh, you want to say hello? Oh, Toby wants to say hello to the vlog. You want to say hello to the vlog? Hello, beautiful man. Okay, I'll let you up. I'll let you up. I'll let you up. So now I've got his awesome face. Thank you. Yeah, you're on the standing desk and you're fully raised. Again, my MacBook is all the way up there. But I'm so glad I get to take 1 hour and 23 minutes off of tomorrow's time. I'll obviously keep that timer running tomorrow to get to 6 hours and 41 minutes, I think it was. I'm dreading Friday. I've got live shows Friday, Saturday and Sunday as well, which are going to really cut into the time that I'm going to spend on this challenge. But look, if this was going to be an easy task, I wouldn't have done it. But very proud of myself that I finished 2 books in 2 days. Like, this is awesome.
He refers to the key, which is something that you won't understand unless you've read it, but the way he refers to the key is such a distant and he almost seems like he looks down. And the tie-in to the title, the why this book is called Roadside Picnic, I adore it.
It is Wednesday now, and this is a roller coaster of a ride, okay? Everything is just, you know, getting off the tracks, it's derailing, and then it's coming back on the tracks, and it's going off the tracks again. Like, I've got whiplash, I am a mess, I am a scramble, I'm everything. So let me explain. As I mentioned yesterday, I was going to go and get a train to go down to see Becca because there was a house that I could view that was nearby. And I haven't been in the shower or anything yet. I was just about to. I was about to go in the shower. I was in the middle of brushing my teeth this morning when I got a phone call from the estate agent who rejected me yesterday. And I saw the number pop up on my phone and I was like, interesting. Why are they calling me for? I had to spit everything out my mouth because I had like all this toothpaste and everything in my mouth. And I was like, gosh, I've got my train in like an hour and a half. You know, I want to go in the shower and stuff and all this and the other. So I pick up the phone and yeah, it was the same estate agent from yesterday. And she said, hi Gavin, just regarding the property that you had put interest in, the first choice that the landlord picked has cancelled. And you're the second choice. You're the second choice. Would you like to go ahead with the property? You have the first right of refusal. But if you want to, the landlord would like you to have the property. And I just laughed. I was like... I was just about going to the shower. I was just about to catch a train to a totally different city to see a house for a viewing. You either have the best timing or the worst timing. I think worst timing because the last 24 hours, yeah, I mean, I have been so heartbroken over not getting the property, but getting a phone call this morning to say I did, like, my emotions are shot. I've been all over the place, you know? And I'd already kind of grieved. I'd already mourned this property and I was ready to move on to find somewhere else. And literally it was a month today. The 29th of April was when I first put in my inquiry for that property. Today's the 29th of May, and I finally find out I actually got it. It's been a month of waiting and wanting and needing this place. And I think I've got it. Like, I'm saying I think I've got it because I still need to do, like, all the documentation stuff. I need to sign for it. There are still checks that need to be done and stuff like that. So fingers crossed, all of that still works out. And what is so funny as well, after I got rejected yesterday, I went to the post office to send off my passport because it had expired last month. I think I might have mentioned that yesterday because I got caught in the rain. And that's the only ID I really have. I do have a provisional license, but that's expired as well. And the agency said, we can take an expired passport, that's fine. And I was like, okay, that is great, except I sent it off yesterday. I literally sent it off yesterday. And I won't get my new passport for like 3 weeks. So she did say she can have my expired provisional as long as I have a birth certificate. So my mum is currently looking for my birth certificate. Fingers crossed she finds it. And we're going to say, but that does mean, because again, this is a reading vlog, and I have my things packed. I'm going to have to unpack them. I was going to read The Crimson Moth because I was going to see Becca, and that's one of Becca's favourite books, and I want to do that video where I read my friends' favourite books while visiting them. So I'm going to have to put The Crimson Moth on hold because I'm saving that for Becca. So I'm going to have to choose something else. I'm not 100% sure what, but it will be an audiobook because I'm all over the place today. I'm gonna have to go to the agency so I can sign for this thing and give my documentation and stuff like that. So today is just gonna be a mess. Today is gonna be a scramble. Today's time is 6 hours and 41 minutes, but I already have 1 hour and 23 minutes off the clock for today since I started the timer last night. So that helps. That does help a little bit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whew. When I tell you, I smiled through the pain. Is that right? I smiled through the pain yesterday. I did my Patreon reading sprints in the afternoon, even though there was a part of me that was like, you know, I could just do with just lying in bed, you know, not doing anything. But I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I do like to look at the positive things in life. Patience won out in the end, and I almost got on a train. The universe, there's someone up there. Someone up there is laughing at me right now. Oh god, like this could be it. This could be it. And Ashitobo, I was so happy they're gonna get a garden. Let me tell you, when I told them this morning, you're gonna get a garden, kids, they were like, well, finally, you failure of a parent. I'm gonna ground the pair of them. I'm telling you, I am so emotionally exhausted. I feel like I'm so ecstatic. I'm so happy about the fact that I got this place, which, again, I had my heart on. But I don't know why. I just feel strange. I feel like because I've just been so drained the past, I want to say, like, week and a half, 2 weeks now. That is, like, really, really hard for me to allow myself to be excited for this place. Like, I am excited. Like, I am excited. I'm so happy and excited. Oh, my God. But I feel so tired at the same time, you know? So what I think I'm going to do is I have been saving and I have been very good. I haven't been ordering any takeaways for a couple of weeks now. I think I'm going to have one tonight. I think I'm going to treat myself. I think I will. The main thing I've been doing today is that I was filling in a lot of online forms for this place. I was sending off so many documents and trying to get things in motion and stuff. So it might still be a few days, maybe even a week, before I actually sign on the dotted line, before it's actually 100% confirmed that it's mine. I've paid the holding deposit, so it is mine for now. But I think maybe as soon as I have actually signed it, and I'm actually told, yes, you are moving in on this date, I feel like I can't celebrate too much, you know? I don't want to jinx it, and I don't want to get my heart broken again. So, with that said, I have been reading. Surprisingly, I've been reading. It's like nearly 6:30 p.m. The timer for today is now at 4 hours and 4 minutes. So I still have 2 hours and like 40 minutes to go. I'm exhausted. I don't really want to read anymore. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Why am I already wanting to give up? And the book that I decided to read instead of The Crimson Moth is The Husbands by Holly Gramazio, I think it's pronounced. I've been excited to read this because Kayla read this recently, Gabby's read this recently, there's been a few people who've read this recently, and I'm on page 165, so I've been making very good progress today. I'm about halfway through. I will still continue reading later. I've decided I am going to film another video tomorrow. Summer reading and video plans video, which should be nice and easy to make. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And the timer tomorrow is a little bit less than today's, so that should help, fingers crossed. I potentially picked the worst week to do this, oh my god. But anyway, The Husbands, I'm liking it so far. It's already feeling a little bit repetitive to me though at this point. So we do follow Lauren, and at the very start of this book, she wakes up after a night out and there is a man in her house and she has no idea who the hell he is. She comes to discover that that is her husband, and he came from the attic, and every time her husband goes up into the attic, a different husband comes out. Everything changes as well. It's not even just the fact that the husband changes, but the house changes, or like the colour of her cup changes, or different things like that could change. Like the personality of someone she knows might change. There's just so many different factors into this that are so intriguing, and I'm really, really loving that plot. But at the minute, the plot isn't really doing anything for the plot. You know what I mean? Like, it's, again, been like the same thing quite a few times. I mean, the people have been different. Yes, the husbands have been different. But at this point, I'm just like, okay, are we getting to a point in this story? Like, is there a whole reason for all of this? Will we even find out? I'm very, very intrigued to find out if we do find out about like how this is happening. Does she have a lesson to learn? Like, what is going on? The takeaway that I'm taking from this right now is that Lauren is, like, well, at the minute, I'm not really 100% sure who Lauren is as a character, because she has been mainly wrapped up in all of these different circumstances happening every single time a new husband comes out. So I haven't really seen her shine on her own exactly, but I am intrigued to see what she's taken from each husband. So sometimes she is changing the way she does things, or she's kind of coming to appreciate certain husbands as well, and certain people who come into her life for different reasons. I don't know if there's some kind of messages here buried within about you shouldn't have to settle if you don't want to settle with that person, or how do you know the right person has even come along? Is the person before you Mr. Right, Mr. Right now? Is there really a perfect person? Who knows? I mean, I would honestly love, absolutely love, for a husband to just walk into my life right now. I would love that so much. I find it hard to even get one boyfriend. I've never had a boyfriend before. And Lauren, she gets like 200 husbands. But I mean, this is an adjustment. She is like adjusting to each and every time. And it's still intriguing enough that I'm not wanting to claw my eyes out. The only reason why I'm struggling with this challenge today is because of everything that's happening right now. And I know, oh, whoa, that's a massive wasp. That is a massive wasp trying to get in. Please don't. And I feel like I probably would be enjoying this a lot more if I wasn't very busy, you know. It's still there. It's still there. Are you my new husband? So I'm going to do my best, my absolute best to continue with this tonight. Might even finish it. Might even finish it. But I'm going to take a break for now. Order some food as a little pre-celebration for the new house. Again, I don't want to jinx it, fingers crossed. But like, there shouldn't really be any problems with what I've submitted and everything. All the checks should come back fine. And even my landlord for this place, who, you know, we don't like, has already given a good reference for me. I was a little bit worried about that, but he did come through on the reference, so I'm very wary, but I really want to do something to celebrate just even this little bit of joy that I've had. If everything changes tomorrow and I lose this place again, that's fine, because I've had this happiness today. Prescription glasses? You can get on Just Eat. Prescription glasses? Prescription glasses delivered in as little as 30 minutes on Just Eat. What? What in the world? I didn't realise this was a thing. What? I mean, I'm not going to order one, obviously. I'm hungry. I don't need glasses, but like... I just want to show you this. This is... Okay. Okay.
Come pick me up, drag me from the shadows, babe. Give me your love, you'll be my escape. Come turn me on, key inside the engine, babe. Lead the way. It's okay. Front seat, calling shotgun, my lover. Driving through the city lights. Haunted by my past, I was certain, but now I see the signs. R.I.P. to the boys who never left me. R.I.P. to the heartbreak and the bullshit. R.I.P. to the boys who fucked me over.
I have just come home in time because it has just started pouring of rain. Haven't even finished yet. Wow. And the heavens opened.
Take my hand, kiss me in the neon light. I want it bad, 'cause you love me right. I never thought that I could deserve this kind of love, but now I got you, my baby. Front seat, call it shotgun, my lover. Driving at the speed of light. Haunted by my fears, I was hidden. I see my future now.
6 hours and 41 minutes. I'm not quite done with the husbands though. I still have a chapter left. I have a chapter left. I was so close to finishing. I am going to continue. I'll restart the timer. So reset, and then This will be tomorrow's, aka Thursday's, time, which I will read the final chapter. I'm not going to give my review just yet. I'd rather wait until the morning. But Bella said something in her video about how, and I'm just paraphrasing here, it's like when you're reading something that you're not maybe 100% enjoying, it makes the time go a little bit slower. And when you're reading something that you do enjoy, you don't even look at the clock. Like, I was looking at the timer for a lot of this book, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm not saying it's like bad or anything, I'm really not. It's just I don't think it's what I kind of wanted from this kind of story. And that's a me thing, that is a me thing. But look how close I am. Look how close I am, oh my gosh. So it'll probably only take me like 5 minutes, but you know, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. $1's $1, you know what I mean? Okay, today is now Thursday, and I am genuinely concerned I won't get much or any reading done today. It is the lowest time since Monday that I need to read for, but I'm about to film my summer reading and video plans video, and I forgot that was kind of on the schedule. I wish I'd filmed it on Monday, but I just totally forgot about it. But now I can do it today. So I want to get it filmed, edited, make the thumbnail, get it scheduled for potentially tomorrow to go up. But I also have a Charmed Witch along tonight with my patrons, and we are watching like one of the best episodes of the series, by the way. We're now on season 6, not my favorite season. In fact, my favorite seasons are really like the first 4 or 5, but the episode we're watching tonight is Crisscrossed. So if you're a Charmed fan, you know exactly what episode that is. So I'm really excited for that. However, it does mean that I'm going to be like live for about 3.5 hours tonight doing the Charmed Witch along. So with everything factored in, I probably won't have much free time to actually read today. I mean, I do have the timer still at 4 minutes and 37 seconds. That helps a little bit. It does, it helps a little bit. And I did manage to finish my 3rd book in 3 days. Definitely won't finish my 4th book in 4 days, because I genuinely don't think I'll be reading an entire book today. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end up settling with a 3-star for this one. I feel like maybe my hopes were a little bit too high for it. I feel like the ending probably did impact it as well. It was probably feel like a 3.5, and then the ending wasn't a fan of, so I'm giving it a 3. I don't know, it felt like sometimes it was a little bit at war with what it was trying to say about, you know, a partner, finding a partner, having a significant other, what that does to yourself as a person and your own individuality. There were some choices made. And I felt a huge relatability to her at the very beginning of this story, and even for, I think, probably the first 3/4 of it. But yeah, it just felt as the story was going on and on and on and on and on, that relatability was slowly fading away. And my interest and intrigue on this whole situation also fading away. I feel a little bit unsatisfied by the wrapping up of the story. There were times when it made me laugh, and there were times when I felt like the humor was on point, but overall, it was a miss. I'm afraid it was a miss. 3-star, because I will give it like technical merit for the writing. This is Holly's debut, I believe, and I think it was like a really strongly written debut, but I don't know if maybe the premise of the story was maybe just a little bit too rich, and I ended up not getting the story I really wanted. But again, maybe it's because I'm in a headspace that is a little bit chaotic right now. Things are really, really happening in my life that's distracting me a lot. So I don't know, take my review with a grain of salt, but I ended up not really gelling with it. I actually don't know what I'm going to read next. I might actually read this next. I was going to save this for tomorrow, but I have nothing else I really like need to read, because this is for my Patreon book club, for the Christy Crime and Wine Solve Along. So if you don't know what it is with my Patreon. We do these pretty much quarterly now, and we pick a Christy crime book. We read to a certain point, so I find out which chapter the killer reveal is, and I'll be like, okay, we need to read up until the end of this chapter, don't go any further because you'll find out how it is. And we have a live show to discuss our theories and who we think is the killer. And then during the live show, I start a reading sprint. We read the end of the book, we find out who did it, we come back from the reading sprint, and we're like, oh my god, I told you so, or oh my god, I can't believe it was them, kind of thing. You know, it's very fun, I can't wait. And with this being Hercule Poirot's very first case, I can't wait to read it. I do prefer the Poirot books over like Miss Marple, for instance. So I think this is going to be a good time. So I might actually end up starting this today, even though I was going to save it for tomorrow. But that's only if I have time to do it. I'll let you know. The first book in my video will be Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar. I'm so excited to read this because this is a Patreon buddy read. I have no idea what this is about, really. I just haven't really read a whole lot of Leigh Bardugo in my lifetime. I've read about 2 books, and that's about it. I've just finished filming 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I was just like direct. I was not mincing my words. I was just going for it. I was like, we don't have time. We don't have time to just sit here and just talk about shit. Because that's what I love to do. I love doing that when I'm filming. I just waffle on. But it also kills me when I'm editing, because then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to edit so much of this out. So I was pretty much direct. I'll probably end up around about, I mean, I'll still cut loads out. It might end up about 20 minutes long, which is great. So hopefully it'll only take me a couple of hours to edit. Hopefully like half an hour to do the thumbnail. And Ash was my little filming buddy as well. He loves lying on the Lego box, don't you? Don't you? Thanks for keeping us company for filming. I love you. I love you so much.
So glad you guys found me. We need to get out of here.
It's the pig.
Tobu. Tobu, you're in my way. I can't see the telly. Tobu, I can't see the TV. Can you get out of my way, please? I can't. Tobu.
I had national health care. Had national health care?
So it is Friday. I still haven't finished yesterday's time. I have 4 hours and 3 minutes. The total time was 4 hours and 57 minutes. So I still need to read for another 54 minutes? 54 minutes today to add to yesterday's time. And then I can start Friday's time, which is 7 hours and 21 minutes. Oh god. Why? Why did I have to be so addicted to my phone in the days between May 13th and May 19th? I made my bed, I must lie in it. You know what they say? The dildo of consequences rarely arrives lubed. So what I ended up doing yesterday was I ended up starting and finishing You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. I just needed something on audio that I hadn't read yet and I had on my TBR, and I saw the audiobook on Everend. However, there were 2 books I tried before this, so I went through like the first chapters of a couple of other options on Scribd, Everend, sorry. I can't get used to the new name. So I tried the first couple of chapters of A Nobleman's Guide to Seducing a Scoundrel by K.J. Charles. Couldn't really get into it, so I scrapped that. And then I went to Ocean's Godori, a novel by Elaine Yu Cho. And again, I couldn't really get into that either. And I was desperate, I was frantic. I was like, what else can I pick? What else I was scrolling and scrolling, and I ended up finding this on Auto, and I was like, oh, you know what? I know this isn't like too long a book. It's a young adult contemporary, and those are really good to read sometimes when I'm trying to tune out a little bit. And honestly, this was so good. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. This was like so cute and adorable, and Sapphic, again, I've somehow ended up picking a couple of books this week that are Sapphic, and I honestly love that for me. So it isn't Pride Month yet, but I celebrate Pride Month every month. This follows Liz, and she did want a scholarship to a school that her mum used to go to, and so like that's her dream. And unfortunately, she doesn't get the scholarship to that school, so she has to find out another way of like raising the money to get there. And one of the ways that she can do it is if she runs for prom queen and wins, because the prize money from that, because at this school and even in this town, prom is a big deal. So obviously like things like that don't really like interest me that much anymore, like any kind of high school drama or like prom stuff. I never went to my prom, just saying. As a closeted gay boy at school, it just wasn't something that I really wanted to do. I mean, I did, but obviously that option just wasn't available to me. And this is why this book just rings so true to me as well, because there are some very antiquated ideals about gender and sexuality, especially that are enforced by the rules of the school, like, oh, 2 boys can't dance together, 2 girls can't dance together, and you have to dress as the gender you were assigned at birth. And it gives absolutely no individuality to any of the, you know, kids, these teens who are questioning themselves and don't understand themselves completely. So that's what I kind of love about this book. I love that we had some exploration in that, and even though again I don't really read a whole lot of young adult, I do love it when we explore themes like this, because it takes me back to my teenhood, it takes me back to my time at school, and I can always appreciate when authors like Leah Johnson is really breaking down those barriers that prevent us queer kids from being ourselves, you know? So I freaking love that aspect of it. There were some things that were just like a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny for me, but other than that, like, it's such a great book, and I don't know why I didn't read it earlier. I'm sure I've had this book since it came out, and it's just been sitting on my TBR this entire time. So glad I could check it off. So glad I had something that I could just really like fall in love with and just like immerse myself in while not thinking too much. So yeah, I freaking enjoyed it, okay? I freaking enjoyed it. So that did mean that I had 4 books done in 4 days. So my next one is going to be The Mysterious Affair of Styles by Agatha Christie. I'm going to read the rest of The Timer Oh crap, what have I done? I'm going to read the rest of the timer today, and then when it gets to 4 hours and 57, I'll come back, I'll restart the timer, and we'll start the 7 hours and 21 minute timer for this. I'm going to try and solve this as well. I do have that Patreon live show tonight, so I do need to get to a certain point. I need to get to the end of chapter 11 before the live show tonight. I think my dad also wants to come and visit for a little bit as well. He's got a hip surgery tomorrow, so I'm in danger. If I don't get the reading done for tonight, which is 209 pages, I need to read 209 pages by tonight, which obviously like isn't too much of a problem if I just like sit and focus on it. But again, that's so hard to do, especially since just got my birth certificate back. I had to apply for a new one for this house. I'm currently waiting for a phone call as well on the reference application and stuff that I had submitted. So I am anticipating some phone calls and stuff today, and I might have to like go into the office as well to sign things, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to call them and be an absolute pain in the arse. I don't want them to get sick of me and be like, oh, you know what, actually don't give them it. I'm sure it'll go well. It always goes well, right? It always does in the end. 2 seconds into reading. Literally, I'm on page 2. 2! You just see me crack open a book and you're like, okay, it's time to distract Daddy. Finally, I have finished yesterday's time. So let's reset the timer. Can you see? Oh, and we're going to start the 7 hours and 21 minutes today. Okay, so I am currently 38 pages into The Mysterious Affair at Styles. This one follows Arthur Hastings. He has gone to stay at his old friend's place after the war, and while he's there, in the third chapter, which was very dramatic, his friend's mother-in-law gets murdered and she's poisoned. And you see the actual death happen and stuff. It's kind of traumatic. It's kind of gnarly. And actually, I think this probably would have been one of Agatha Christie's first books. I feel like this has a lot more, I guess, description than I'm usually used to with Agatha Christie books, because a lot of the times it's just like very straight to the point. But in this one, we do have like this vicarage where it is kind of described, and it's kind of like nicely described, and there was good atmosphere as well when Arthur is in bed and he's been woken up by candlelight, and like his friend brings in a candle, and you know, there's just like this really nice glow on this scene when, you know, he's being told about Mrs. Inglethorpe's near death. She's locked in her room, they can hear her convulsing, they get in and scene. And now chapter 4 is called Poirot Investigates, so I imagine my man is coming. He's coming to solve the case, but not before I do. So I have taken this a little bit slower because I do need to pay attention, I need to make notes. And you know how hard it is as well to make notes when I've got Ash, like he was with me for a good chunk of that reading session. And it's just so much harder when you've got a cat's arse in your face, trying to find out which of these people murdered poor Mrs. Inglethorpe. So obviously I won't have spoilers in this vlog, but I will let you know my progress on this during the day and whether or not I was right or wrong in the culprit. At the minute, there is a very obvious kind of person. I think it might be a red herring, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Sometimes it has actually been the most obvious person to me. Sometimes I've cracked the case a little bit too early and it turned out to be right, even though I thought it was like painfully obvious. So it could be another case of that. But so far, I'm liking it. I am liking it. Are Agatha Christie books ever the best books I ever read? No, nowhere near. But are they some of the most fun books to engage with and try to solve yourself? 100%. And this one looks like it's going to be another good one. Like, I'm very excited to continue. Still haven't had a phone call from the agent yet, but I did get a call from my mum, because my mum took my coffee machine because her and my sister, they were going to take it to, when it was like booked in to get repaired and stuff, they were going to take it for me because I don't have a car, I don't drive. So they were going to take it for me, but I just got a FaceTime with my mum before, and she was drinking the coffee. She's like, guess what I'm drinking? I was like, coffee. And she was like, yeah, guess where I got it from? I was like, your asshole. She was like, this is from your coffee machine. I was like, shut up. Shut up. So it turned out that it was just like the steamer, because it was the steamer that had stopped working. It turned out that it was just a little bit blocked. Turned out it was blocked. Like, why didn't I just check that myself? And I do, right, what I do is I take the steamer wand thing off, I unscrew it, and then I put it in, like, some, like, water, and I have that, like, overnight with, like, some cleaning solvent or whatever it's called. And I do that, like, every now and then, and so really it shouldn't have gotten to the point where it got blocked. But it looks like it doesn't have to be sent off anymore. I'm so glad. I think I'm just going to try and either drop it off today or tomorrow. I need a coffee. Like, I need an actual proper coffee. It's been over a week. Over a week since I've had one of my famous cappuccinos, and I've just been having instant. I also need to change because I kind of used my Summerween stuff as pajamas last night. So I want to change. I want to get myself all sorted. I want to look nice and presentable today. So now I consider this to be the start of Friday. Oh my God, I missed you so much. Oh, my baby. My baby. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, my baby. My first proper homemade coffee in over a week. I'm so happy. Last week was pretty much everything going wrong. This week, things are balancing itself out. Things are going right. I'm out of breath because I just had to answer the door. I've just had a whole bunch of boxes come so I can start packing up. So I actually just come back home. I just went over to the estate agent so that they could scan my birth certificate and my identification. They said all my references were passed, so that's good. And the projected move-in date is the 28th of June. So they still need to do the ID checks, which I just handed off today. Whew. Oh, that's the one. I was going to crack open some wine, but I don't actually have my favourite red wine right now. So instead, I found this in my fridge. Passion fruit martini. I have no idea how I got this. I don't even know how long it's even been in there. I have been doing a thorough search of everything to really start the packing process. Getting rid of a lot of shit that I haven't seen in a while. But is it even in date? Does passion fruit martini go out of date? I can't see a date, so it should be fine. It's actually quite nice. It's quite nice, even though it's just from a bottle. So I do have my solve along in 20 minutes. And I have read... Do you mind? Did you hear that? I was like really Ash banging on the door. You've seen in some B-roll how much time I spend with them during the day. Oh, God, like they won't leave me alone for a second. Not a second. Anyway, I've read the section I needed to read before the live show. So I'm on page 210. And I have 5 hours and 19 minutes on the clock. So I still have 2 hours to read today. It's nearly 9 p.m. It's nearly 9 p.m. However, there are still 30 pages left where the reveal happens. So as I mentioned before, I will be reading those on a reading sprint during the live show so we can all find out together who did it. And I'm excited. I have my suspect on the back of this. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you who my suspect is. Oh, my finger's fucking stuck. I'm not going to show you who my suspect is because just in case you might want to read The Mysterious Safarah Styles, I've definitely taken a lot more time with my read today than I have with my previous reads for this challenge because I have been like annotating and making notes and trying to find out where the clues are, the red herrings and stuff like that. So it's taken a bit longer to read this one, but it's all good. I have a suspect and I think I am correct. I have actually no idea. It's actually kind of a hard one to solve. Well, I don't think it's a hard one to solve. I think my suspect is an obvious choice. I mean, there is a kind of clear-cut motive, but I'm not really sure of the how. So I'm going to find out everything. I never, ever usually get how they do it, but I usually do get the who in the why. 9 times out of 10. And I would probably give this book so far, like maybe a 3.5. It hasn't really blown me away. I definitely prefer the start of this, but I feel like such a big chunk of this book was taken with this specific suspect who is my main suspect. And I just don't feel like we've been given too much on anyone else at all. So that's why I kind of think, or maybe it's all a red herring and stuff, but it kind of makes sense for it to be this person. So I don't know. I'll figure out more during this solve along. I'll see what my patrons think and get to the bottom of the case. But only 2 chapters left, 30 pages, passion fruit martini. Slagatha Christie is on the case. Oh my god, I think I got it half right. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I tell you, my patrons did not believe me. Only a few of us said this person. A lot of people said, Gav, I think you've lost the plot. But No, it looks like I was half right. I don't want to say too much. Again, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to spoil it. But oh my god, I've still got a chapter to go. Oh my god, the people in the live chat as well. I gasped. I have no words. I'm shook. Well. What? Shaking in my boots. Oh my god, the reveal. And I was half right. Oh, I'm just too good. What can I say? I'm just too good. There are 25 minutes left on the sprint. I have finished The Mysterious Affair at Styles, and I have 5 hours and 51 minutes on the clock. So I still have an hour and a half to read. It's nearly 10:30 p.m. for me right now. And I was so tired during the day. Like, literally, when I tell you I was trying to fall asleep after every chapter, I was. Not that this is boring or anything. I would probably give this, like, 3 stars still. I mean, 3.5 stars. I'm so happy I got it right. And I am so shocked that I did. There was, like, a little bit more, and I didn't get the how. Or, like, a lot of the intricacies of the crime. But look, I always try to just get who did it rather than anything else. So I'm really happy with myself. That is 5 books down in 5 days, potentially 6 books because I think I'm going to read a manga next. I am in the mood. I've read so many books, and with it being so late, I just want something like quick and easy to read. So like something to read in like an hour and a half. I have had my eye on Stitches, which is written by Hirokatsu Kihara and the art is by Junji Ito. So this is not exactly manga, it's more like short stories, actual text with illustrations by Junji Ito. So I might give this a read. This might only take about an hour and a half to read tonight. Yeesh. Once the live show is over, I'll probably start reading this actually until this like sprint ends, even though I have not heard the best of things. Like my friend Gabby, I think, gave it like 2 stars. Damn, that's so bad. Like, I love Junji Ito, and I know this isn't his stories, it's just his artwork. So hopefully the artwork is still 10 out of 10, and I still have plenty of passion fruit martini left to make this a party. 6 hours, 42 minutes today. Still have like half an hour or something, I don't know. I'm done. I am done. There's still 15 minutes left of the day. I won't hit the timer like bang on, but I have just finished Stitches. Does this work? Does it actually look like this is my face? I wasn't a fan. It's probably going to get like 2 stars. I thought almost all of the stories were pretty shit. There was one story I kind of liked, which was Snow Day, but the rest of them ended and I was like, was that it? Was that it? I think they try to have like some kind of urban legend feel to it, but at the same time, they were so mundane. Like there was one where there was just a woman who didn't show up in photos, and that was it. The creepiness just didn't really come. It kind of did in the Snow Day story, but that's about it. That is about it. Junji Ito's artwork, though, was still amazing. I still really liked, even in the stories that I wasn't a big fan of, his artwork. So that's good. There was also a bonus, like, chapter manga at the back. That was actually really good. I really liked his actual manga story, which was about a bathhouse and 2 women who go down this corridor, and they go down these stairs that are, like, almost feel never ending, and when they get to the bottom there's loads of people in the bath and they're like turned away. Oh my god, it's very creepy, but that was the manga portion of it. That was like at the back of the book, Summer Graduation Trip, and that was like all like proper manga, but the actual stories at the front here just so underwhelming. But it's tiny. It was fine. I'm glad I read it. I'm gonna go on to Fire Punch now to round out the day so that I can hopefully finish today's reading and start tomorrow's. This one is set in a world where the entire world is like full of snow. It's like all frozen over, and our main character, he lives in this village. It's been a little while since I read volume 1, but I liked it. But the main character lives in this village and it is burned down by these people, and our main character, he is also burned along with everyone else because it was a whole massacre, but he is able to regenerate. So he constantly has flames covering him and his body's just like constantly regenerating, and he is now trying to get revenge on the people who did that to his village and his family. This is also by the mangaka of Chainsaw Man. This was before that, and this is only 8 volumes, so I am on volume 2. Let's just finish Friday off, shall we? All my movies went up in smoke in my house. There's nothing left for me to live for. A life without Toy Story ain't shit. True. You know what? It's technically June 1st now since it's after midnight, which means it's the start of Pride Month. And yeah, I've accidentally found more LGBTQ plus representation, We're men who are in love with each other. I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Okay. 7 hours, 21 minutes for the day. It's only 30 minutes past midnight, so it's not like I'm too late. So we're gonna reset, start from zero. I haven't finished this just yet. I have about this much left. And yeah, I'm gonna get to finishing this tonight, but I'm gonna go to bed straight after it.
Stunning, it looks stunning. This looks amazing. Like, so much room. Like, that's a whole ass library. That looks so freaking good. Oh my god, thank you.
Can I just show you the manga channel and what I've done and all the things that you haven't seen me do? And I mainly did most of this last week and the start of this week, but I have every single video I need to upload in June, July, and even all the way to the start of August. All done, uploaded, scheduled, everything. I even had to make like over 30, 40 even, brand new thumbnails for every single one. And I did all of that at the end of last week, start of this week, just in the background. Like, come on. Look how fluffy and beautiful I've made my first morning homemade cappuccino in, I think, probably like 2 weeks now. It's been like 2 weeks since my coffee machine like broke. But I'm just so happy, and I'm so glad I have my oat milk with this as well, because oh my god, let me tell you, yesterday I made the mistake of getting a coffee when I was out and about with just regular milk. They didn't have oat, so I was like, that's okay, I'm sure regular will be fine. Oh, I will rue the day. I will rue the day. Last night I was starting to feel a little bit bloated, and I was like, oh shit, here we go again. The reason I swapped to oat milk in the first place was because I was trying to figure out why I was feeling bloated, and I was, yeah, you understand, you know what I mean. And obviously I didn't want to go to the doctors, so I just like changed some of my routine, and I drank way less coffee, and I went from regular milk to oat milk, and oh my god, it's changed my life. And I'm not as bloated or on the toilet as much. And this morning, oh my god, this morning, I started feeling bloated last night during my solve along. I was like, oh god. And then, yeah, this morning, I started watching Katie's moving vlogs last night in bed because I couldn't sleep. I got to like 4 o'clock in the morning or something. My mind was like racing with so many thoughts. I was feeling bloated. And I just started watching like Katie's moving vlogs that she did 3 years ago, which, that was around about the time I discovered Katie as well. So it's just a little bit of a blast from the past watching them. But also, there's like so much that I've forgotten as well. Like, this is like watching and binging a Netflix series that you haven't watched in such a long time. So I watched like the first, I think maybe 2 or 3 episodes last night, and then I finally fell asleep. And then this morning with my morning coffee, I watched up until episode 9. I still have episode 10 and The Apartment Tour left to watch, which I will watch in my own time. I have to start getting shit done today. I do. But it was just so nice just sitting with my finally morning coffee, watching Katie's moving vlogs. It's really get me in the mood and get me inspired to do all of the moving content this month, because it's now June. It's now June. It's officially moving month. Oh my god. So yeah, that's what we're doing. June 1st, Pride Month, gay rights. And it was my right to move to a place where I would feel like I was in home. So I did finish Fire Punch last night as well. And the timer for today so far is only 18 minutes and 26 seconds. So I have to read for 6 hours and 54 minutes today. That's like nearly 7 hours. Finished Fire Punch Volume 2. And you know what? It was good, but there's a new story element to it that I'm not sure I'm going to end up liking. It is a little bit of a darker series, this is. Lots of heavy topics and stuff. But there's like a kind of comedic element that's being introduced now, and I'm a little bit like, this is kind of jarring right now. Maybe it will work, maybe it will mesh well in the future, but right now, I'm a little bit, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling. I will still continue though. I still find myself invested in the character's revenge story. So I really want to see how that plays out. But I will probably like slow down with this now. I probably won't like gravitate towards picking up another volume just yet. I don't own any of the other volumes. I might say if the new library I end up having in where I'm moving to will have those volumes. But for now, no, it was absolutely fine. I'll probably give this like 3.5 stars. So this is what I've read so far in this vlog. I feel like this is never ending at this freaking point. Never ending. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've read 7 books. I still have 2 full days of reading to go. You know what, I'm going to just slow down. Like, the next audiobook I listen to is going to be on 0.5 speed. I don't know what I want to listen to. I do want to listen to audiobooks today because tomorrow I want to start The Lion Game and I need to start filming that vlog, and I'll have to read this physically, like sit down to read it. So I will end up doing that tomorrow. I don't fancy filming or starting to film a new vlog today. It just can't be arsed. So I'm going to put this down for now, but it does mean I need one more book hopefully to listen to today. I just genuinely don't know what. I will scroll again on Everend or Libby just to see if there is something I fancy. I might browse my shelves as well. There might be something that I own physically that might jump out at me. But yeah, first I'm going to wake up a little bit more, drink more of my coffee, and get started with Saturday. I've decided to read Shipped by Angie Hockman because I found the audiobook on Libby. Yay! So I'm going to listen to the audiobook of this. I want to do some like cleaning around the house and things. Now I have used the toilet again. This is the second time I've been on the toilet this morning, and I have a feeling it won't be the last. You haven't seen the last of me. Again? A fucking again? You take my seat again? Don't look away. Don't look away. I was working. I stepped away to make myself another coffee. And you're just on my seat. Good grief. Guess I'm sitting on the floor then. Stop. Stop filming. Is that what you're trying to say? Stop filming. Stop the count. He wanted my chair. So I gave him my chair. Now he wants this chair because I'm on it. I'm not moving. I ain't budging. Currently on page 167 of Shipped. I'm halfway through my time for today too. I'm very happy about the progress today. I'm very much liking this so far. I really like the vibes. It feels very summer to me. So we do follow Henley and she is up for a job promotion. But there is a guy called Graham who is like her arch nemesis, her rival, who is also up for the same promotion. And they've never met before because Graham lives elsewhere. And then they both have to work on a company cruise. And they have to like come up with ideas on how to boost like marketing and stuff like that. So like they're kind of forced together in this like really good environment. I really love the setting of this. I really love the things that we do. It like feels very tropical. It feels very holiday, and it's really put me in the mood for a holiday. I don't really like Henley though. I find her very shallow and judgmental. For example, Graham shows her a picture of his dog called Winston, and Winston has like an underbite and might not be the most cutest animal in the world, right? But she's like, that's like the most ugliest dog I've ever seen. There is only one ugly bitch in this equation and it ain't the dog. Graham explains that Winston was about to be put down because no one wanted them. Essentially, Graham saved Winston's life and she doesn't really apologize for what she says. You know what I mean? I know it's just like one comment and stuff, but like she has shown very shallow like tendencies throughout the book so far. I understand like her heart is set on this promotion. There are some things that are really stopping her from doing that as well, and I'm really rooting for her to like, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of her, I am rooting for her to be, you know, successful against like the misogyny in her office and like her boss, in the way that like she feels uncomfortable, in the way that she can't really speak freely with her boss and stuff. Like I really am rooting for her to show his ass up, you know what I mean? But like her as a person, nah. Can't get over the ugly animal comment. I'm sorry. But I am liking the chemistry between Henley and Graham. There are some like really good plot scenes, and that's something I miss in romance sometimes, is that sometimes it just feels like very surface level, the way that the characters get to know one another, and it doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot of like effort put into actually making the chemistry work. But in this one it kind of does. I really like the scenes with them snorkeling, and there are some like really fun and engaging moments that I think really does build the relationship between them, and I really like that, especially since it is kind of like enemies to lovers. And I was burned by Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I wasn't a fan of that one, I'm sorry. This one feels like what Book Lovers try to be, in my opinion. Or maybe I just prefer romance that are set on location. You know, like a little bit of holiday vibes, especially with the summer coming up. Oh my gosh, 1st of June, summer has begun. So I am going to continue. I'm going to slow down because I really don't want to read anything else today. So I want to read until I hit my timer. I am on 3 hours and 5 minutes so far, and I think I have like 3.5 hours left. I feel like I can stretch that for 3.5 hours, right? Tobu. Tobu, look at this. What's this? Tobu, what's this? What's this? Hello. Hello. I don't have anything. I'm sorry. Hey, Ash.
planner. I try to plan everything.
Make it stop. Make it stop. Make it end, please. I'll do anything. I'll stay off my phone forever and ever. Just make it stop. I mean, yes, I'm getting so much read this week because I finished another book. I finished Shipped by Angie Hockman, and I still had like an hour left of the timer, and I only had like 30 pages left or something, and I just went even slower because I was like, I'm not picking up another book today. Not on my watch. So I will call up the real estate agent right now and tell them I don't want the place if it just means I stop this challenge right now. I think it's doing its job though, because I feel so ashamed of how much I've spent on my phone the past few weeks, and I will be a better person for it. Also, this is a weird place to sit. I'm sitting at the top of my stairs. I finished Shipped, and yeah, it was just what I needed right now. It was just a lot of light fun, although there were some darker things as well. Nothing really too much with the main characters per se. The main characters absolutely fine. Really did end up rooting for the romance. I thought the romance was developed so nicely. I did end up really shipping the main characters. I did end up liking Henley a lot more as the story went on too. Still won't forgive her for that animal comment because there is no such thing as an ugly animal, okay? There's no such thing. We cannot project our own societal judgments on innocent creatures. Animals do not judge each other. I mean, sure, there is a food chain and, you know, they eat each other sometimes in the wild, but that's not the point. None of them are ugly. But I do end up liking Henley by the end of this. This was really sweet, and it was in a way that I kind of wanted to resent this because sometimes when things are sweet and I see romance develop and bloom, I'm a bit of a hater. I kind of don't want love to win in the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm a little bit cynical. I mean, just for other people. For myself, yes. But I say other people in love, no. Like, say I'm watching like a Hallmark Christmas film or something, and I'm hating myself the entire time because I'm like, oh, this is so corny, this is so cheesy, this is so predictable, so many cliches. But at the end of the film, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I might even shed a tear when the main characters kiss. Because it's just an experience, you know, it's an experience. I want to resent it for the majority of the either reading experience or the watching experience, but I always in the end, my heart thaws just a little, just a smidgen. So I will end up giving this 4 stars. Just a very, very fun time. And I am not, for the love of God, reading anything else tonight. So I'm going to reset the timer back to 0. Tomorrow it is only 6 hours, which is good, but I do have a true crime and wine. Oh shit, I need to schedule it. I do have a true crime and wine night tomorrow. Tomorrow night that I've forgotten to schedule. So I think the time tomorrow will be doable. Can't really see because of the background, but it's nearly 10 p.m. now. And I do just want to lie on the sofa and just do absolutely nothing. So I'm going to schedule my live show for tomorrow, and then I'm going to give myself the night off. It is the final day of this vlog challenge. Thank fuck. I need to read for 6 hours and 1 minute today. I've already read for 2 hours and 50 minutes. And I am reading The Lion Game by Sarah Shepherd, and I am 149 pages in. I am really enjoying this. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I am filming my Lion Game vlog. I woke up this morning. Well, actually, I was awake until around about 5 a.m. this morning. My dad rang at 7 a.m. to tell me surgery was fine. And then I got up at 9. I think I had maybe like 2 hours sleep max. But I did start this morning. The thing is, right, it is nearly 2 p.m. Well, it is pretty much 2 p.m. And I still have 3 hours and 10 minutes left to read for today. And I have True Crime and Wine Night in like 4 hours. So the countdown is on. The race against the clock has begun. I'm pretty sure I will get this finished, considering I'm like halfway through and it's taken nearly 3 hours to get there. This one follows Emma and Sutton. They are long-lost twin sisters, but Sutton, she is the narrator, and she is dead. She is dead, but she doesn't know who killed her. And Emma comes across the fact that she does have a twin sister, and she gets this message to come and meet her, except it wasn't actually Sutton who sent the message. So there's like a bit of a murder mystery going on now. This is from the author of Pretty Little Liars, so you can expect a lot of teen drama with the kind of teen mystery kind of elements that you would expect from Pretty Little Liars. And honestly, like, this is so good. Like, I am really, really enjoying it. Like, if you switch your brain off and you just allow yourself to enjoy something that's a little bit older, because this came out in 2011, 2010, and I loved the TV show so much, even though it didn't last very long, and I can barely remember a single thing about it. I still enjoyed it a lot, so I'm really glad that I'm reading this right now. I did do an Instagram story, and Sarah Shepherd herself, she shared it within 2 minutes of me posting that story. So thanks, Sarah. That's amazing. I am starving. I haven't eaten yet. So I'm going to go have something to eat and continue the Lion Game. Oh no, Ash, please. I'm on page 6. I'm on page 6. You stole my seat in the library this morning. I came in here so I could read in peace. I'm on page 6. I've just started. No, don't know me. Don't know me. Oh, I love you. I love you. But no, I want to read. Oh, I love you so much. Okay, so I poured my wine because I genuinely thought my True Crime and Wine night started at 6, but it doesn't. It starts at 7. So I have another hour before it starts. Hope I don't drink it all before then. But I can finally say I have finished the time for Sunday. I have finished this challenge, but back to 0 and it's never happening again. I am never doing this again. I finished the Lion Game. I'll give this like 3.5 or 4 stars. Like, this was actually like so much fun. I am really so invested in this whole mystery, and I was making like loads and loads of notes. I'm kind of worried like how long this vlog is going to end up being. Like the Lion Game vlog, not this one, although this one will be pretty long too. But I am loving seeing Emma slip into Sutton's life and to kind of get a sense of who the characters are through her pretending to be someone else. And honestly quite shocking, some of the things that come out about Sutton. The whole mystery element of this book, we had one bit of evidence really, like this massive piece of evidence, but by the end of the book it's recontextualized. So now we're back at square one. And now I don't know who to think did it or like what, and I'm just like, I don't know what to believe. There's just it's so good. It is so good already. Sutton is also giving me Alison De Laurentiis vibes from Pretty Little Lies as well. So with Emma trying to emulate that too, it's so funny. It's already been quite messy, and I love the fact that the Lion Game itself is a group of 4 people, including Sutton, where they would pull pranks on other people. So now I'm like, well, it can't be a prank. Like, the whole death thing with Sutton and like why she's not there, that can't be a prank because she is dead. She is our narrator. She definitely died. So unless somehow they turn that around, I don't know how, but there's like a lot of pranking, a lot of jokes and stuff. So I am a little bit worried and concerned about being punked too many times, because Goosebumps does that all the time. I don't want the Lion Game to do that too. But no, I have high hopes for this. I'm sure it's going to be another amazing complete series reading vlog when I get to read all the rest of them. And I read it in pretty good time too, so reading the other 5 books in the series shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just an absolute blast from the past. And nothing is coming back to me from the TV show. I definitely watched it, but nothing is coming back to me as I'm reading this. Not a single bloody thing. So these are the 9 books that I read in this vlog. I started with Animal Farm. I gave that 4 stars. Then I went to The Ghostwoods, gave that 3.5 stars. And then I read The Husbands, which I gave 3 stars. Then I read You Should See Me in a Crown, which I gave 4 stars. The Mysterious Ferret Styles, which I gave 3.5 stars. Stitches, I ended up giving 2 stars. Fire Punch, Volume 2, I gave 3.5. I'm already forgetting all of the ratings for these. Shipped, I gave... Did I give it 4 stars? I think I gave it 4 stars. And then I ended with the Lion Game, which I am giving either 3.5 or 4 as well. I don't actually know. It depends on how the rest of the books go. Because if the rest of them are terrible, then I will most likely keep this one at a pretty good high rating. Stay tuned for the Lion Game vlog, which should be coming, hopefully, within the next couple of weeks. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know if you've read any of the books I mentioned in this video. Do you agree with any of my ratings? Do you disagree? Have you seen the Lion Game? Please tell me everything in the comments. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons and my One Piece channel members for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon or my One Piece channel membership, then all the links are down in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.